everybody. Hi, it's Becky from PowerToolsWithThread.com. That's my blog. How you guys doing? We just got back from a barbecue cook-off in Seguin, Texas. Today is, I think, it's October 5th, 2019. And didn't win a thing this time. This is the first time in a long time we've come up dry on that, but that's okay. No big deal. We had a wonderful time. Went there with some friends. Spent the weekend with the RV out there. Lots of smoke. First thing I had to do when I got home was take a shower. Woo, man. So, one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today was quilting with your embroidery machine. Now, that is something that has always fascinated me. Before I got my long arm, I knew there had to be a good way to quilt with my embroidery machine. And you can pull the bottom threads up just like on a long arm quilting machine or on your regular domestic sewing machine. But I wanted the embroidery patterns already designed. So now a lot of designers, digitizers, embroidery digitizers are creating like edge-to-edge quilting designs. You can find them on many different designers' sites. Designs by Juju has them. I'm not sure if Itch to Stitch does, but they're all over the place. Well, a really neat one that's out there is made by, it's called, this lady's name is Christine, and this is Amelie's, or I'm sorry, Edge to Edge Quilting on Your Embroidery Machine, Amelie Scott Designs. You can find these in your quilt shops. They also have them on Amazon. I'll link to it below. And when you get one, now if you only have a 5x7 hoop, you can't do this. You have to have a hoop that goes larger than 5x7. So, because I bought this when I had a 5x7 and I thought I'll shrink it down. That doesn't work like that. You can shrink it down, but they don't line up right. They just don't. So, the very first pack has all the instructions that tells you how to line it all up and how to do the counting and how everything is supposed to work. Well, that one comes with what, 10 different designs inside, which is really nice. Well, you may recall, some of you who've been following along, oh, and if you haven't been and you're new, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. So I went to a quilt retreat a couple weeks ago, and we made a Seasons in Patches little wall hanging, okay? And you were supposed to put a bunch of patches together of different fabrics and then create an applique using like Wonder Under type thing and iron it onto and a back piece and easy borders. And it turned out just super cute. But I want to quilt this. And this particular, most of the Seasons in Patches are a flip and turn, which means you sew bottom, the backing face up, you know, and the middle batting, and then the top face down, and you stitch all the way around, leave an opening at the bottom, and then flip and turn it when you're done, and then, you know, seal it up. Well, needless to say, mine is very wonky. So you can tell here, like, see how you kind of see a little bit of the backing there. The backing is an orange fabric. And I mean, any which way, it's not even all the way around on the edges. I mean, if you don't get too close, it's super cute. But I want to quilt this thing. So, I mean, I guess I could stitch in the ditch around the borders, but Amelie Scott Designs has this really nice, in Expansion Pack 2, here's some little cobwebs with a meander right there. My blue dog just came out here. Hi, baby. Hello. And we've been gone all week and she missed us. And so they were so excited when we got home. Hold on. She's going to take a drink. All right. Yes, I missed you too. I missed you too. Yes, I did. Good girl. Good girl. All right. So once I decided I was going to do the meandering cobwebs, they come with 3 different sizes in each file. So the way these work is there's an A and a B, and you put them together like end and start type thing, you know, and then end and start, or up and down as the case may be according to the directions. So I had to kind of figure out what size I wanted. Now, this wall hanging, I'll get to this white flimsy stuff in a minute. This wall hanging is 16.5 by 13 finished. So I figured I would do the smaller one, which has a height of 9.5 inches. That way, because the smallest, the height is 9.5, the medium is 11.5, and the large is 13.1. But with 9.5, I can do here and here and do 2 full runs, okay? And then the width is 5.25. So this is 13. So I can do 3 passes all the way across and get it to look right. You kind of got to do some math and figure out how that's going to work on your project. So because my edges are a little wavy and off, I didn't want to do like a top stitch 1/4 inch away all the way around or anything, because that would be really obvious that you would see that that was off. And I decided I wanted to quilt it fully from edge to edge and a little over. And so what I did was, this is Pellon's 541 wash and gone stabilizer. I picked it up at Walmart, okay? I'll link to it. I think I can link to it. If you can't get this package, if I can't find it in a link, this is like $6. If I can't find it, you can get it at Walmart. But if I find it at Walmart, I'll link there. Last time I went to look for this, they were selling it in bolts. And I guess I should buy it that way, but I just haven't. So what I did was, my Brother 1500 straight stitch machine has a very long basting stitch all the way up to a 7. And so I did a very long basting stitch all the way around. And I just basted 2 pieces of it together. Just sewed right over the edges like that, okay? And so this is a wash away stabilizer. And what I'm gonna do when I'm finished is I'm going to then pick away the basting stitches and just wet this thing down, and the stabilizer will be gone. So once it dries, it'll be all gone. And that way, this thing will be completely stitched edge to edge. But I needed enough extra around the outside to hoop. So that's why I've got a whole bunch of it hanging all over here. I'll cut off what I don't need, but anyway, let me show you how I do that. Oh, another thing I almost forgot. When you're doing this edge-to-edge quilting, it's really important that you audition where the stitching is going to go before you actually sew it. And so for that purpose, I use print and stick target paper from Designs and Machine Embroidery. This works really, really well. I print it out in my printer and it sticks over and over and over and over. I use that for like the whole wall hanging quilt. I'm still on my first couple from the half yard wreath. But what it is these designs, as I showed you, they do an A and a B, okay? And so you print them out. And if you don't have software to print these out, you can go to Embroidery. They have a freebie version, a trial version that you can use. I don't even know if it's a trial. I think it's just a freebie. When it asks you for the serial number, just hit enter and it'll give you the freebie version. And I believe you can print using that version of Embroidery. I'll link to that below. And Itch to Stitch has a fabulous 4-video tutorial on how to use Embroidery from the very, very beginning. If you don't even know how to spell the word, Janae does a wonderful job showing how to do that. So anyway, so like you print them out, see how this is, I put an A on there, and then here's B, and see how they're going to meet exactly in the middle. and it'll look like continuous quilting. See that? So that's why you want to print these out, and that way you can see exactly where they're going to go. All right, so what I want to do is remember I told you these should go like this. So that's good. It's going to stitch off all the way up here if I do these like this. And it'll stitch off down here, which is fine. That's what I'm after. So I'm going to make a mark on my stabilizer so I know where I need to make sure I've got hoop space. So if I did these two like this out here, yep, I'm just going to make marks on this stabilizer because I know my stitching line is going to go all the way out there. And that'll tell me to make sure I leave enough room. Okay. Now, if I do this one in the middle, and then another one right here, this is where my stitching line needs to go to in my hoop, right here. Okay. Looks like it's going to be like 2 inches over, which is fine. And then this one's going to stitch to right here. So this is great. That way I leave enough room on the sides for my hoop. Okay, great. So I'm going to do a total of 6 passes. I'm going to do probably the centers first, and then I'll do one side, and then I'll do the other side. There, I like that. Okay, so now that I know I've got my placement pretty good and I have an idea of how far out the stitching is going to go on each side, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and place A where I want it to be. Okay. I'm leaving B right here on the lines. Look how sticky this stuff is. And I'm going to put A right there. Okay. That works. Okay, so I'm going to put A right there. And then I'm going to put a little snowman, which is the same as a Target sticker, right in the middle of this, on the crosshairs, so I can get it placed right in the embroidery machine, all level and everything. That's good. That's not good. Oh, I can't see. This cross is not quite long enough. That other one is, but not that one. All right. There. That's better. You know, you wouldn't think 1/8 of an inch is a lot, but it can make your design wonky. Okay, so we're ready to go. Now I'm going to use a Magna Hoop from Designs and Machine Embroidery. It just makes life so much easier. I'm just going to put this in here. And I have found if you get your snowman as close to 0 as possible, the machine finds it. The snowman is a camera targeting system that is proprietary to Brother and Baby Lock. So that's why I have that. And what it's going to do is it's going to find, even if I don't have this hooped exactly straight, like you can tell it's not, see? So here's where the line, look at this, if I put my ruler where that is, look how far off of 0 I am. I mean, I could tug it, but because of the camera system, I really don't have to. It'll do it right for me anyway, which is one of the reasons I love that machine. Anything's got a camera system in it, I'm all over it. It's ready, it looks like it's ready to be stitched. We're ready to go. Alright, so I'm going to get the designs off of my USB stick. I hit Embroidery. And this is the universal symbol for USB, so we'll touch that. And I know it's on page 3. There it is. Which one's which? Let's see. I think, let's see. A has the end. Let me show you what I'm looking at. I don't know if you can tell. A has the end with the end of the stitch coming from the top. B has it going to the bottom. So I think this is it here. Let's see. That is right. So can you see my screen? So it has the stitch comes from the top and ends over here, whereas this one has the stitch that goes this way. That is A, and that matches what I have. Okay, so now I'm going to hit sewing. All right, and I'm going to use the snowman feature so that it gets aligned properly. And I tell it to scan. Keep your hands away, got it. And it will turn a bright red when it recognizes it. Found it? Remove embroidery positioning mark. So what this did was, so even though my project isn't hooped square, it rotated the design so that it will be stitched straight. So we're going to remove this. Come off. Okay. I got a little thread there needs to go. Go. All right, I think we're ready to start. Put the foot down, and I want to pull the back thread up, and actually, so I'm going to pull the foot up. I'm going to grab a little bit more thread here. Can you see what I'm doing? No. Okay, I'm going to pull a little bit longer tail here. And then on my screen, there's a plus or minus, needle plus minus. I'm going to hit that. And I'm going to go to +1, which is going to take me to the first stitch right there. Good. Now I want to needle down, needle up. Let me get my bobbin thread, undo that again. There it is. That way I don't have threads on the back. Okay. And I'm putting my foot down, and I'm going to start just a little bit. Let it make a knot, and then I'm going to stop it once it gets to going. And I'm going to trim these threads. There we go. Now I don't have any threads, knots on the back. Oh, that's cute with that little spider web right on his little face. That's adorable. just going to lift this up and put it right here. And then I'm going to take B and I want to position it, let's see, right there. Is that? Okay. That looks pretty good. I like it. And I'm going to take a target sticker and put it right there. Okay. Looks pretty good. All right. So you know what I want to do? I think I want to save this I'm going to hit memory and I'm going to save it to the machine. It just makes it easier. Now I'm going to hit return. Delete, okay. Now I want to pull up B off of the USB stick. All right. And that looks good. I'm going to hit sewing. And I want to do my snowman again. Found it. All right. So, once again, I'm going to pull my top thread a little ways, go to needle plus minus +1, and I want to make sure that that needle is going to come down exactly on, and it's not, it's a little high, so I'm going to pull this just a little bit. I want to get it, and it needs to come a little bit this way. There. That'll work. That's perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to pull up my bobbin thread. There it is. Whoop. Probably should have done that before I put my foot down. Oh well. Let me see. Go. It's hard to see you guys with these colors, I know, but oh, that's perfect. That turned out great. You can't even tell where one stopped and another started. Trust me. I'm gonna leave B in there because A is in the middle. So I'm gonna take my B once again, and I'm going to, let's see, where did it start? It's hard for you guys to see, I know, but this is gonna go right there. Perfect. That'll work. I don't have quite enough stabilizer over here. I hope that's not going to be a problem. Pull that taut as possible. I don't think it'll be a problem. Let's see. This is not an exact science, you guys. Pretty close, but not quite. So, I am going to tell it okay. Let me do my snowman again. I know that's not straight. Okay. But it doesn't matter. It's good enough for government work. Now, I'm going to go plus or minus, and I'm going to hit -1 stitch, I think. Nope, won't let me. So I want to go all the way to the end. If I had plus 1,000, that would be great, but I don't. Whoop! There we are. That's the end. Are we on it? How to fool your machine. Let's see. That is perfect right there. Okay. Okay. We're going to do this again. So, I am not liking this right here at all. I don't want to mess. Let me put my needle down. Perfect. Give me an extra hand there. Y'all, look at how my pencil line, if you can see it, is way crooked. Doesn't matter. It'll be fine. That's better. Okay. Needle up. Right. Okay. Alrighty. Could have let it go. We have a huge mess right here. So what has happened is the edge, this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. The edge of so the embroidery foot got underneath the fabric. Okay, I'm going to bring the needle up, and my wall hanging has been stitched into the hole. When that happens, that's okay, don't freak out. Okay, when that happens, this is what this bird's nest kit is fabulous for. This is from Designs and Machine Embroidery as well. This kit has a scalpel looking thing in here, like this. I need to get under there and get that cut loose. And this long handle lets me, see that blade? You can take out your appendix if you're not busy. But I'm gonna get this under here. Actually, maybe I can cut it. Yeah. See how the foot is stuck up under there? So that is cut loose. Yeah, that's loose. What a mess this is. And I can't get under it. Fiddle. You want to get these stitches out of where they have stitched the fabric into the embroidery. Man, what a pain in my neck. All right, I cannot get that out. There we go. Perfect. Easy peasy. All right. So, when you have a big mistake like this, you want to maybe back up 10 stitches. All right. And let's start over here. I'm going to hold it down. There we go. Okay, it's all done. You can still see through it a little bit because it has still kind of wet. I just rolled it up in a towel. Take a look. See the stitching? Now, there's some loose stitching up here on the edges, obviously, because I cut off the stabilizer. And I trimmed it up pretty good. I'm thinking I might take, hold on, doggy drink. I'm thinking I might take some black bias tape and just bind it, or, you know, just do a regular binding on it or something. That would certainly, you know, cover up the edges and any loose threads. But, oh, it's just as cute on the back. Take a look. You see the stitching? I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. It's just adorable. And, you know, you have a couple of boo-boos happen. Boo-boos. God, that's hilarious. I'm using the term boo-boos because I was watching Joy Bernhardt's video this morning of how she put grow grain ribbon in as a waistband finish, and she had a couple of boo-boos and she called them, and then as I was talking to you I hold this up and I see boo and it's pretty funny. Anyway. Oh y'all, my life. Okay, so even though a couple of snafus happened, we could say that, that's an old military term from this old GI. You know, like Joy says, it's a lesson. Just consider it a free lesson. Hopefully you didn't screw it up so bad that it cost you an enormous amount of money. But, you know, the ones that happened on here, totally recoverable. Like the bottom of my exclamation point moved. Oh well. You know what? I'm leaving it. I don't care. I think it looks great. It's a wall hanging, you know. It's not going to be going through the ringer, so. Anyway, pretty happy with that. While I'm talking about it, I finished on the We Wish You a Merry Christmas, I finished the Cupcake Block. Look at that, it's got vinyl, so it looks like it's under glass. Isn't that cute? And it has a little peppermint button. That's from the embellishment kit on there. That turned out super cute. So, anyway, so I got a project done today. Yay, a UFO is finished. Now I just need it to dry out. It Talk to you soon. Go sew something.